Okay, good morning, bows and bow ties. Um, look, so last Sunday, Deshaun Watson popped his Achilles, and there was mixed reaction to um, this injury. For those of you who don't know, Deshaun Watson is the quarterback for the Browns, or, well, was. um, and there was mixed reaction to his injury. Now, I have a healthy number of men who watch this channel, but for the women who watch my channel and you don't know, Deshaun Watson has been riddled with controversy. He has a lot of I would say sexual assault accusations. There's been some, my understanding, allegedly, things have been settled out in court or maybe outside of court. He's got a lot going on, and you know there are so many people on both sides. There were some who were like, he's the worst quarterback ever, and there were people who were like, why are we cheering for his downfall? So my take on Deshaun Watson. By the way, if you're new to my channel, I am the Black opinionated woman, also known as a beau. I don't introduce myself that often. And this is a good time for you to give me a thumbs up right now because I'm amazing in every way and practically do no wrong. So, this is my take on Deshaun Watson. I don't typically cheer for the downfall of people, but I sure don't feel sorry for this guy. And I'm going to tell you why. This man has been an alleged menace to women. The things he's accused of doing. I will let you go search for yourself who this man is, Deshaun Watson. Okay. He got paid a lot of money to be um, the quarterback for the Browns based off of his previous talents. And he has not been able to produce. I mean, first of all, before I get to the women portion, just the fact that, was it a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, he was going to walk off of the field. No, he walked off the field. He was so irritated about what was going on in the game. He walked off the field. And the Browns are kind of like stuck with this whole salary situation because they paid him so much money, and he was smelling himself. He got his money, and he's like, not only am I not performing, I'm going to walk off the field and have a temper tantrum. But this is what I'm going to say about this whole thing with him. I'm more irritated with the NFL because you know I feel like, so on the one hand I do believe in second chances, but this man was a menace to women. Okay. And I feel like, in my opinion, many of these organizations pay lip service to, we support women, we support this, that, and the other. The fact of the matter is, if he had done something to maybe somebody higher up's wife, or maybe, I don't know, a teammate or something like that, they would not have taken him back. But they don't care, because the NFL is a moneymaker. It's about business. So they don't care that he's out here doing these things. And I'm going to say something that's going to make people really unhappy. I would say is a relatively unpopular opinion. I think the sport of football, because it's such a moneymaker in the United States, um, because it's so big, there is no room for morality. We have faux morality, but there's no room for morality. So you have all of these phenoms who grow up playing this game, and they're being touted for their athletic prowess, never being told no. Cormani McClain, allegedly. They do what they want to do, and they're not used to being held accountable. They're not being used to being told no. They have these little mini God complexes. That's why you can get him Cormani McClain for a year out in Colorado, thinking like he doesn't have to do certain things. And Coach Prime was trying to hold him accountable, allegedly. And then he goes to, I believe, Miami. I think he's actually starting to see the field now, according to a buddy of mine. But like, he was causing problems down there. He wasn't getting it. I feel like the culture of this sport is so unhealthy because it's meant to be like it's a collision all the time. It's a violent sport, right? And so it's like on the one hand, you have to have men who are willing and capable to engage in such violent activity. But it's almost as if like because it's such a money maker, there is no room to bring in like accountability and morality and that type of thing. So when I see somebody like a Deshaun Watson, who most likely has been told that he's amazing and everybody could do no wrong all his life, and he can do these things, like he had no moral compass, allegedly. Uh, you know, So when it comes to the cheering and stuff like that, I don't necessarily cheer for people's downfall, but I'm going to be honest. I kind of feel like, what do they say? Pride comes before the fall. And they also say, and the fool and his money shall soon part, because he's got all this money, but all that money's probably going to be going to paying out a whole bunch of people. I look at the NFL, and the NFL is it's just so hypocritical. It doesn't know what it wants to stand firm on when it comes to race relations, apparently women's relations and stuff like that, right? So like the only way that they're going to do certain things is like they literally have to hold the smoking gun, like the video of Ray Rice knocking out his now wife. Like he decked that chick. By the way, my daughter has played sports against his daughter, by the way. She's a pretty good athlete. But it's weird because when you're sitting next to them, I'm like, man, that's the guy that decked. Well, not with the girl. She played against her in basketball and then lacrosse. But yeah, like definitely, like he decked her. That's the only way they can hold him accountable. Otherwise, they're like, we don't care. So this man, Deshaun Watson, gets another opportunity, and not only does he get another opportunity on a max contract, and it's just kind of like, and he still doesn't get it. He walks off the field a couple weeks ago, and now to see that video, and you can see where his Achilles is torn, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, you know, I'm not saying God did it, but he probably did not prevent that Achilles from being torn, because if he wanted, he could have actually made sure that his Achilles was healed. I just And I'm not going to speak for God, so let me backpedal out of that. What I'm saying is, I feel like the NFL put that man out there and let him play in everybody's face. Because at the end of the day, it's about business. And me personally, I'm like, I don't want to see that cat. And this is the thing that people don't seem to understand. The NFL, obviously, they market to men. But if they were smart, like when they brought out Taylor Swift, right? Like when they were trying to capture the Swifties, right? They seem to forget women watch football too. And if you grab all the various demographics within um, the women's portion of the market, like I don't think that they got it until they got it. I'm like, don't push away your woman audience, your female audience. You can't do that. Women spend money too. Look, I wear Giant stuff all the time, as you see, right? Even though they're a really bad team. But like, women watch sports. Women watch sports. And so to put Deshaun Watson out there in everybody's face, I was like, okay. You don't want to alienate your fan base. So maybe they were thinking, well, the female fan base isn't that big enough. I'm like, you know, women women are everywhere. Sorry, my alarm just went off. So I'm sitting here thinking about the NFL, put Deshaun Watson out there so that he can play in everybody's face. And I'm like, sit this man down somewhere. And don't get me wrong, I know people deserve, second chances, but I was like, I just kind of felt like, oh, no, season ending injury, Achilles tendon popped. Hmm, that's just where I'm at with it. That's just where I'm at with it. Anyway, I just think that what's happening is we have this game of football, and I just feel like because it's such a money maker, usually things that make a lot of money, you don't see a lot of morality attached to it. I mean, they'll pay lip service to it, you know, they'll pay lip service to it, but at the end of the day, these guys just want to get up on here and talk about why Kansas City is going to win the Super Bowl again. And I agree, by the way. Um, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. Um, yeah. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. You get somebody like a Cormani McClain, who was a head case, was like a five-star recruit athlete and couldn't get out of his own way. I look at all these men who look like me with this athletic prowess, and it's kind of like they have such a huge dose of talent and not a dose of morality, not a dose of humanity. I don't see enough of it. And so I know, of course, people are going to want to like cherry pick people. I'm sure there's lots of great men who play the sport of football, but I see a lot that are on the other side. You got people committing murder, people committing domestic violence, people betting or whatever. You know what I mean? There's no morality there because there's so much money to be made. So people continue to turn a blind eye. Look at John Morant in the NBA. I'm going to sidestep for a second. John Morant was given multiple chances. Multiple chances. Like I got that first time, but then to want to brandish a weapon and get like I was like, I don't even understand why there's this fascination with being bad or or just the lowest, like the dregs of society. I don't get that. And maybe it's not for me to understand, I don't know. But anyway, circling back to football, I I don't care if he never plays in NFL again. He's been given multiple opportunities. He had a max contract. Hopefully he saved his money. you know. And then when he gets his opportunities, he's turning his back and walking off the field and stuff. I was like, you know what? I don't need to ever see him again. Ever. I don't care. There's somebody else up and coming who's hungry, who wants to be in that position. And, when giving these opportunities to play at the highest level, you give everybody your hind parts to kiss. And I'm like, you know what? People can show you better than they can tell you. You can go sit down somewhere. I understand that all these NFL dudes are talking about there's a code or what, I don't know, like, this man is injury. I don't care. And look, and if you guys are expecting me to take the high road, let me tell you something. No, I don't care. I'm like, go sit down somewhere. Weirdo. He's a whacked out weirdo. He's a wow. I just feel like, this man has been a menace, a flat out menace. So I could care less. I'm like, look, you have multiple chances to come back. So I'm curious to see how Cormani McClain is going to perform in the rest of his college career and if he'll ever make it to the NFL. Because he clearly doesn't like to listen to people. But I don't know. Maybe he's making a change down there in Miami. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So I know you guys are probably wondering, why is she yammering on about this? That because I want to. It's because I want to. I all the way want to. I was going to actually do a video. Believe it or not, the video was going to be on taking my husband's last name. Why I took his last name. And I decided, no, I'm going to talk about Deshaun Watson. Maybe the next video will be that. I just didn't feel like talking about that. So, all right, so go ahead and like my video because I am amazing. A little bit delusional, and I like it here, but I'm amazing. Go ahead and like the video. And then I want you to share with all your friends. Share it with your friends. They're going to be amazed. They're going to be like, oh my goodness, this woman, this opinionated woman who happens to be black is flat out phenomenal. Share it with all your people. And then I want you to leave a comment, okay? And then I want you to subscribe. All right.